Hey there, this is Real Talk Baseball. I'm Carlos Baseball. With me as always is Will Power. We have a lot of stuff to cover today, week 6 recap, and we have a documentary that's coming out for Derek Jeter. I mean, that should be exciting, right, Will?
Yeah, man. Pretty excited about that one. Like you said, it's a 30 for 30, right? It's going to be
Yeah,
a series, not just one episode. So that'll be really cool to watch, man.
yeah,
Um, Never really got into like the other 30 for 30 or documentaries just because baseball's not really one of the ones that they really focus on too much. So it's really exciting to finally see baseball being spotlighted.
yeah. Hey, dude, you should see the Michael Jordan one. That way you get to understand what they're gonna, how they're gonna deliver that documentary. Because I know when I saw it, I wasn't really into it. I wasn't a Bulls fan. I'm more of a Laker fan and everything, and more of a Kobe fan. But when I did see the Michael Jordan, it's just the work ethic he had, dude. It's just crazy. He's amazing. So I would recommend that for you to watch. Well, I know you're a baseball fan. We're all baseball fans, but that one will get you into the Derek Jeter, documentary. And hopefully it's the same guy that did the Michael Jordan one. He would do the Derek Jeter. Behind the scenes stuff, you get to see that you don't get to see every day on the baseball live for a baseball camera. That's the type of stuff we would like to see from Derek Jeter, man. I know there's a lot of horse playing, or maybe, because he was a captain, right? Maybe we get to see like him getting on players like, hey, man, you need to step up, you need to do things. And that's what's interesting about the documentary. Like, we're going to get to see things that as fans, we don't get to experience in games,
Right.
right? And
Well, that was a really fun time for the Yankees.
yeah,
With Jeter and A-Rod, like they had so many good players. Mark Teixeira, they had so many really good players on the team at the time, and we're going to be able to see a lot of behind the scenes stuff,
yeah.
interviews or just going to the ballpark, practice, locker room, stuff like that. So that's going to be really cool to see.
And you're talking about the 2010. Now imagine the 98, 99, 2000 World Series teams like Scott Brosius. You had, what do you call them? Bernie Williams, Posada, like Mariano Rivera. I know he was on the 2010, but those first three-peat for them was exciting for them. It was one of those World Series where they could have even gone and won the 2001, 2001 World Series, and the Diamondbacks won that one. So that was kind of like, it kind of hurt the Yankees because 2001 was 9/11. So they played into November. So he was Mr. November for that playoff runs. I'm pretty sure they're going to put it on there. And if they don't, they better, because that's a huge part of like history, U.S. history, not just baseball. And Derek Jeter was one of those top players back then. So it should be, I can't wait for that, man. I kind of excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, like us in high school, or even generations even after us. How many times when we fielded a grounder did we yell Jeter and then kind of like jump up in the air and throw it from the side.
Yeah.
He was an innovator. He was a game changer. He was exciting to watch.
Yep.
Oh,
It was. Dude, you know what? I used to own a Yankee hat, man. Ooh, I
just
know. I
because of
know.
him.
Yeah, because of Derek Jeter, dude. And kids look up to these type of players, and that's a good thing that they're doing the documentary for them. Not a lot of kids get to watch baseball games because they're usually on networks that you have to have cable, and
Yeah,
you
the
don't get to see.
syndication and all that.
Yeah,
It
so
sucks. It
yeah,
really
so
sucks.
so that's gonna be something good and amazing for everybody to watch. So I mean, hopefully we get it soon, and it's not next year. I hope it's this year that they finish the documentary and we get to see it. Let's go ahead and move on. Hey, Sam is on. What's up, Sam? How's it going? Um, but yeah, dude, Tatis, when is he coming back?
They're saying that as long as he has a couple negative COVID tests, that he should be back by Wednesday.
When's this
So
Wednesday?
yeah, the time has passed, and for the 10-day IL stint. So Wednesday, tomorrow, man.
Tomorrow.
So
And
Padres
is it just
fans,
him? Is it just him or everybody else? Will Myers? I forget who else. Hey, what's up, Fresh
as
Gaming?
as far as I know, the only one that I've really paid attention to is just Tatis. I haven't really looked
Everybody
at
else.
the other players. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're a Padres
Well,
fan, you should be excited because
you should be looking at him though, because you have Will Myers on your team.
I do have him, but I haven't checked anything on when
Okay,
he's
so
coming
it's
back.
saying Will Myers could return Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah, because he came. It was Tatis and I forget the other guy. You mentioned him. that went out first, and then Will Myers. I believe it was like the next day or something like that.
And
But they had him.
Profar got
Profar, there you go.
activated yesterday.
Oh, he got activated. He was just on. He didn't have COVID.
He was the quarantine. He had
was
to
in quarantine.
quarantine because he came in contact with Tatis.
Ah, gotcha. Well, for you Padre fans and you fantasy owners, if you guys have Padres that were on COVID, they're coming back. So I know I need Will Myers on my team. So he was doing pretty good. He's getting me points. So I am hoping he comes back ready to play, because if he doesn't, there's the drop button for me.
So, Sam is saying hopeful start from Louise Castillo today. What's going on with Louise Castillo, man?
Oh my God.
I know we talked about him a little bit, last time on the show, but what
Dude, they dropped him on our league.
Yeah, I put in a waiver for him, but I didn't have a high enough waiver. I actually put in a waiver for Urquidy from the Astros.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting him on my team. So he's in my IL slot right now. But since I got bumped down to 12 in the waiver order, I tried to get Castillo and it wasn't high enough, man. But I'm happy with Urquidy.
He's not bad. He's good. No, I had him for 2 starts.
Yeah, he gets like 15 to 20 points a game. And right now, man, pitching is kind of like at an all-time low. You have a lot of elite pitchers out there, but when you're looking on the waiver wire free agency list in your fantasy baseball leagues, there's really nothing out there, dude. No. Like I just picked up Michael Fulmer.
Oh, you did?
And really the only reason why I did is because he's a sparp, because I can just slot him in my starting pitcher position, and he has a chance to pitch every day. He got 3 saves in last week. So if he is the new closer for the Tigers, I think I just came up on a really good pickup.
Dang, you did. I don't think you did. You didn't. It's a good pickup. Sam is saying that he had 11 Ks today and 20 swing strikes. So
wow,
not bad at all.
He I believe he allowed 3 earned runs. I saw that.
Yeah, he's playing against the Giants too, and the Giants have the best the best record in baseball, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
You see who has the worst?
Huh?
Did you see who has the worst?
I want to say, don't tell me. I want to say Baltimore?
No.
Who?
Out of the blue, man, it's the Twins.
The Twins?
Yeah, the Twins have the worst record in baseball right now, dude.
Oh my God.
How the hell is that possible? Everyone was going into the season like, are the Twins going to take it, or are the White Sox going to take it? And you see the White Sox, they have so many injuries, but they're still there, Yep. And then the Twins have the worst record in all of baseball. What the hell is going on?
Dude, yesterday, I believe one of the third baseman had to pitch or something like that, and German hit it out.
Willens all Studio.
Studio, there you go. He's not the first time he pitches this year. I think it's his second or third.
Yeah, when there's a blowout like that, you go through your bullpen. You don't want to use every single arm in your bullpen. So
see, but knowing that, I still didn't say the Twins. I said the Baltimore, the Orioles.
Oh yeah.
So what happened there is that Jermaine hit the 3-0 count home run, and what is it? La Russa took exception to it. The coach.
Yeah,
Mercedes. Yeah, and Yermin Mercedes, right?
Yeah.
So then, they were talking about it. And then today, one of the pitchers for the Twins, I believe it was Duffy, a bullpen pitcher, threw behind him, and they tossed the pitcher out. He didn't even get hit. But there we go again with the 3-0, the 3-0 count. It's like, I know it's a blowout. You still have to play your game. You still have to end the game. They're paying you to hit the ball. Like exactly. Your batting average is going to suffer if you don't hit the ball. Your on-base percentage and all that stuff, right?
Batting average, on-base percentage, RBIs, runs, home runs, all these things are going to what managers and owners are going to look at when your contract comes around. That extra home run, it's not just going to be this one. There's going to be multiple times throughout your career where you have opportunities like this. And if you don't take it, your stats are going to suffer for that.
Exactly.
And Tim Anderson from a rival team, he actually said, I'm all for it. if a pitcher, whether it's a position player or an actual pitcher, if they're going to throw a strike right down the middle when the count is 3-0, why not swing at it? You are there to be the best possible player that you can be. You're trying to make sure that you keep a starting spot. You're trying to get a bigger contract, some kind of a big contract. So why not increase your stats a little bit? It
Exactly,
makes the
dude.
game more fun. And Trevor Bauer said the same thing. Like if I throw a strike right down the middle on a 3-0 count and you hit it out of the park, good job.
Yeah,
You did your job. I didn't
definitely.
do mine.
Definitely, because like we were just saying, if you that home run could be a determining factor of your career, like let's say you have to hit a certain amount of a home run so you can go ahead and get a sponsor, or
Or a bonus
or
or
bonus or something.
something, man.
Yeah, and you're hungry, so you're like, it's baseball. I'm gonna keep playing till the end of the game. That's why there's no mercy rule on major leagues. If there
Yeah.
was a mercy rule, then you wouldn't have to go through that. Like, I hope they don't hear me and they'd be like, oh, we're gonna add the mercy rule, and then no, because baseball is not the same as other sports where it's timed. You don't have time. You don't have any of those things where the other team, it could be like the last quarter for a basketball game and you're up 30 points. You're going to win for sure. There's no coming back from that. But like in baseball, it could be the ninth inning and you have 2 outs. You're down 15 runs. You can score 16 runs in that inning and still win the game. It's way different. So I don't know what's wrong with these old folks. I thought I was old folk baseball, but I'm not. On some things I am, and some things I'm just like, this is different. This, you need to go ahead and hit
Like
it.
the runner on second base in extra innings. I'm old school. I don't like that.
It's kind of nerve wracking though. I didn't like it at first. I didn't, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, how sometimes I change the channel and I come back to it and I'm like, how the hell did he get on second? I'm like, oh, it's a extra inning second base thing.
I this is the issue that I have is when you come to that, like let's say the last player to get the out in the ninth inning for Washington was Schwarber. So then
Sure.
you put Schwarber on second base. This is not a fast dude. He's not going to be able to go from second to home on a line drive single to right field or something. He'll
Yeah.
move over, but you get a strikeout and a double play and then the inning's over. But
Mhm.
let's say, like the Padres, let's say Tatis was the last one to get out in the ninth inning, and then you have Tatis on second base. He could easily steal third, and then all you need is just a fly ball to any outfield position, and he can make it home, even if it's a short fly ball.
Mhm.
I don't like it. I feel like it does put a little bit of pressure on the managers. It puts pressure on the pitchers, and I do like to see that. I like to see how players react when the pressure's on. It kind of simulates like a playoff experience.
Yeah.
But the issue is you have one team's going to have the advantage over the other.
Yeah.
And it's not just going to be like the best team is going to have the advantage. It's not like that. It's because whichever player is on second base at the time, if they're the faster runner, if they're the better base runner, that's the team that really has the advantage.
That's true. But at the same time, you got to think about this. If, like, let's say you have a slow runner and you hit a ball like, really hard to left or right or center, whatever it is, and you could have won the game right there if you were the home team. And I mean, it's not, I think it's fair. The only thing I don't understand about that rule is, who is that run charged to? Because if you made that last out on the previous inning, who is that run charged to? Is it charged to the pitcher that's on out there already? Or, I still haven't looked into it. I mean, I should be looking it up. I'm a big baseball fanatic and I should know, but I don't know who that run is charged to. I don't know if it's, if someone's listening out there, let us know. Will, do you know who is it charged to?
I don't know.
Is it
I
charged to
don't think
the,
it should be charged to anyone
but it
because
should, it's a run.
it's a run, but it's not an earned run.
Well, because look, if the pitcher that's out there and, let's say it happens on the very first pitch of the inning where they started the second base runner. that pitcher is going to be charged with a loss if they don't come back, right?
Yeah, you're right.
So then what's going to happen where it's what's going to happen if that man on second, he got out the last inning. So now he's at second base. Who is that run charged to? And if someone's out there listening to us, please let us know. Like, that would be really interesting for me to understand and give us your point of view too, because we want to discuss that a little bit more. I think
there's a comment from Chicks Love Baseball too. She says, I'm assuming it's a she. Baseball is an art. You either get it or you don't. You don't mess with art. Leave it alone. And I completely 100% agree with that. I believe that sometimes, there are certain rules that can be altered, which isn't going to change the art. But this is a big thing. Automatically putting a runner on second base, all you really need is 2 fly balls, two hard fly outs, and you just scored a run without even doing anything.
All right. Well, you're a Dodger fan, and you've seen a lot of extra innings from the Dodgers, and they haven't won it just right off the bat on the 10th inning. They've gone to the 11, 12, 13. And yeah. I don't think the Dodgers have ever lost it right on the 10th inning, or they won it in the 10th inning when they added that runner at second base. So with that said, you just said that it's a fly out to the right. You move them over and whatever, and then you scored a run. It hasn't happened. It hasn't happened for them, or it hasn't happened for the opposing team either, because it's been going extra innings, like I said, to 11, 12, or 13th inning all the time. I haven't seen one that has been in the 10th inning and then that's it. So it gets more nerve-wracking maybe for the players as well.
It goes along also with which player was on second base when that happened, because if it's Muncy, then you have, he's a fast runner for a big dude, but he's not a fast runner.
Yeah.
So that kind of goes along with if it's Mookie Betts, the Dodgers have a lot better chance of scoring a run versus if it's Max Muncy.
Max Muncy's not too slow though. I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's fast for a bigger dude.
Yeah,
but you can't compare the speed of Mookie Betts to Max Muncy.
Oh no, of course you can't. It's the
same thing like if you look at the Padres, right? Like Eric Hosmer, he's not fast. He's
decent.
Yeah, he's like league average, probably, So, but if you have Tatis on second versus if you have Hosmer on second, Tatis has a much better chance of scoring that winning run than Hosmer does.
Yeah.
So it really just depends on who got that last out in the 9th inning.
And that could be a game changer.
It really could. Exactly. Let's say the Dodgers have Pujols that got the last out in the 9th inning.
By the way, the Dodgers just signed Pujols. Man.
They're not going to score.
Yeah. Just want to throw it out there, man. Pujols got signed by the Dodgers, so Will doesn't agree to that one, but I think with the injury to Corey Seager, and it's a big fantasy drop. I don't know how long he's going to be out for. It looks like he's going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks, right? Yeah, it's going to be devastating.
Though? Maybe he kind of needed this. Like I know
every season though, he does this every season.
Yeah, but this wasn't an injury that happened because he was running or a shoulder thing. This was just a freak accident.
It was.
I'm okay with freak accidents. That's why I'm okay with Pollock's injuries. Pollock, he runs into walls because he's an aggressive baseball player, and he messes himself up, and he's out for a little bit, and then he comes back, and then he tears the cover off the ball again.
He does.
And Seager was going through a bit of a slump, the last month and a half or so. Like he
started really hot, and then the whole team was struggling. The whole team was struggling. Okay, so let me ask you this: if you had Corey Seager, who would you replace him with? I know we were going to discuss Tatis, but Tatis is coming back tomorrow, so he's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. Who do you replace him in on fantasy baseball? Like, who is a good shortstop for you?
I think that if you have a player going out for that long, I think it's worthy to think about a possible trade to get a different shortstop.
Yeah.
There's some shortstops out there that are still going to be decent on your team, which won't cost a lot, like Carlos Correa. Carlos Correa won't cost a lot to do a trade.
What about Lindor?
Lindor, he
He's struggling, dude.
he is struggling. He's struggling bad, but it's still Lindor. And I trust Lindor more than I trust almost any other shortstop out there. He'll turn it around. Just like I said before the season even started, I'm like, he's probably not going to start off very hot. He needs to get comfortable playing in New York. He needs to get comfortable with his teammates. You know, the story with like the raccoon or the rat or whatever that was running down the hallway that we were talking about.
Yeah.
People saying that it was a bullshit story. Like it was really just him and Jeff McNeil. I think it was Jeff McNeil, right? That they were having an argument, and that was just kind of like the cover up. Like if you have Lindor arguing with a teammate already, and he's only been with the team for 2 months, something's going on, you know. And it's like if you have personal issues going on in your head, baseball's the type of game where you can't think too much. You just got to do it. You got to trust yourself to let your talent show and get out of your head. When you get into your head too much, that's when mistakes happen. Like Altuve, how we saw how he had so many fielding errors and throwing errors last season. He was just in his head because, you know, the scandal came to light, and a lot of people were outside the stadiums just chanting, you know, cheaters, or you know, whatever else they were saying, holding up signs for when the bus came in.
They haven't come to LA yet. They came to Anaheim.
But did you hear what is it? Is it
Corral
Stadium? I don't know. It's Oakland. I'm sorry. I think it's Oakland. So when the Astros go to Oakland to play against the A's, they're actually going to open it up to 100% capacity.
Oh my God. You think there's going to be a lot of people? I'm pretty sure they are, because you know how the A's had their little conflict with them as well.
Oh yeah, it was the A's, the Angels, the Yankees, the Dodgers.
Everybody, right?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much everybody, but those four for sure.
Yeah. Well, the Angels not so much. It was more because Dodger fans are super close to Anaheim.
Well, the Angels, because the Angels think that maybe they had a chance to get the wild card.
Oh, I believe that was that year that they had I believe, okay, I agree with you. I think they had a chance to make the wild card, and they lost those games against the Astros, and those games were kind of crucial for the Angels to win, and they didn't get them because of the Astros. So yeah, you're right. But there's so many things into that, and man, we could talk about this scandal forever, dude. We've been talking about it since we started this podcast last year, and we don't let it go. I don't think baseball fan would let it go.
I can't let this go, man.
No,
I know,
of course not.
Like I try not to talk about it as much, is because it's the same story every single time we talk about it, you know. And I even get sick of hearing myself talk about it sometimes.
Yeah, of course.
But sometimes, you know, when someone brings it up, I'll even be like, we went to Florida, took my family to Disney, and I saw an Astros shirt, and right away, man, I just got mad. Like I legit got mad, and I'm like, fuck is this guy wearing an Astros shirt? Come on, man. You want someone to talk shit to you? I'll talk shit to you right now. I didn't want to get kicked out of Disney.
Hey, did you want to do the thing that the Padre fan did at Coors Field? He just went up there and
I wanted to so bad, dude. Saw the video I posted.
Yeah, dude. I'm just like, what? Come on, man. You're not even a Dodger fan, man.
I know, right? Like, what the hell? Padres fans all of a sudden acting like Dodgers fans.
I know, man. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Just don't break out the knives or the guns. Like, hopefully that, you know, we leave the past behind us and that stuff doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah. Like, oh my God. I felt like he was walking towards him. I don't like Coors beard, and then bop, got him. I wonder what it was. I think I heard the story. It was that when he was there, I guess they kicked his dad out. And I believe the fans that he went up to and then he, you know, socked in the face, and I think he knocked them out, right? I believe they were smoking or something like that. So the Coors Field fans, I mean the Rocky fans, they said, we're not going to take that. You're in our house. Like, what the hell? You're not going to come in here and smoke.
Oh, is that what it was?
I believe so. And if I'm not right, someone correct me, but I believe that was the story behind everything. And the dad was kicked out. So the Padre fan took exception to it. He went to the fans and socked them up. Like, And then after that, he didn't know what to do, dude. He was just like standing there like, oh shit, I knocked him out.
But then I know. But then the guy that got knocked out, he didn't even press charges.
Nah, because he was probably look. I don't think as a baseball fan, I don't think I want to ever get in a fight. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just stupid. You're a fan base. You're just supporting the team you go for. You can talk shit and say whatever you want to different opposing teams or whatever. That's fine. But when it gets to a physical contact type thing where you're arguing and like that makes no sense. Like to me, it doesn't make sense that you're gonna get in the fight for a team that doesn't even acknowledge you. This team is not even acknowledging you, dude. Like seriously, you're gonna go and sock someone out because you felt threatened by this guy, like, or yeah, your dad was in the wrong. If I'm saying the right story where he was smoking in the stadium, like, dude, they don't allow that in any stadium. Why would you do it in Coors Field? You know, like, I know Colorado has more open what do you call it? Open rules, but if that's not allowed and they kick them out, then you know what, you got to accept it. You're not going to do that at Petco, and if they allow it at Petco, I'm pretty sure they have sections for it. So, I mean, come on. Like I said, that Brian Stowe thing with the Dodgers with the Giants, I totally don't agree with that. There's some fans that take it overboard and take it too far. I don't agree with none of the fighting and all that stuff. Yeah, the arguing, it's gonna happen. You know, who's not gonna defend their team, but the fighting is just what I don't like. And that knockout though, you know, he was probably like waiting for it. I'm like, oh, well,
he got knocked out cold, man.
Yeah, it looked like he slapped him though, right?
He didn't even like defend himself. He just stood there with his arms down.
And the Padre
I don't
fan
think
was
he really thought that he was going to hit him.
Yeah, the Padre fan was all like G'd out, like like knocked him out clean. Oh man. Well, let's move on, dude. I know we talked about
real quick though. I just wanted to give an update that Chris Taylor just got a 2-run home run. So the Dodgers are leading 3-1 right now.
Woo, woo, woo. Sweet. All right. Hey, we've talked about this guy, and you said he wasn't gonna stay hot. And this guy pitched yesterday, Bumgarner, dude. He's been pitching pretty light. He's been lights out. He's been the old Bumgarner, and you've been saying that he's not. What are your thoughts right now about Bumgarner?
You know, after I saw his third start, that you know, in this last like 5-start stretch, I started to realize like his velocity is increasing, because last year and the year before, he was only throwing 88, 89 miles an hour, topping out at 90. And this year he's getting pretty close to 93, which is what he used to throw back in the day when he was at his best. Mm-hmm. So maybe now he just he's gotten stretched out so good that he's just, you know, that dirt bike accident, it's not hindering him as much as it used to. Yeah. So I really like the cutter. The cutter's cutting it honestly, dude. Oral Hershiser, when I was watching the game the other day, he said that Bumgarner's cutter is cutting about 4 inches more now than it did in his first start of the season this year.
Gotcha.
That's huge, dude. 4 inches. That's a big difference. That's a difference between a barrel and a swing and miss, man.
Do you think he's using some sticky substance?
I don't think so. I mean,
you don't think so?
I don't think the sticky substance, it might help increase velocity a little bit, a mile per hour, but this guy increased his velocity by almost 4 miles per hour. That's big, dude. I think that we're kind of getting vintage Bumgarner. I think that 7 inning no hitter that he threw, it kind of made himself realize like, yeah, I still got it. I'm gonna go out there. Well, another thing too is that Bumgarner, he was always at his best when he had his battery teammate in Buster Posey. And when he goes to Arizona, he didn't have Buster Posey anymore. He had a few different guys that were always changing. And now I believe it's Carson Kelly that is his main catcher that he has. Yeah. Ever since, I think it was like the last, like 4 out of the last 5 starts that he's had, Carson Kelly has catched for him. And those are the ones that he did amazing in. Carson Kelly didn't catch against the Dodgers because I believe he's hurt right now. So
he didn't allow a lot of runs either. He only allowed 2 runs in what is it, 4?
Was it 2? I thought it was 3.
I think it was 2 runs. Oh, was it 3? And 4 innings. I think his pitch count was a little higher.
Yeah.
So that's why they took him out. But
then again, you got to realize when you're facing the Dodgers, these pitchers are going to throw a lot of pitches because Dodgers get into a lot of full counts. They have 7-8 pitches in almost every at bat, except for certain guys like Corey Seager and Mookie Betts that like to attack the first pitch.
yeah, that's different. It's a different thing. So remember when he was sitting at 56% owned by Yahoo and ESPN? Right now he's at 75% and 76%. So if he's out there for your league, I suggest you go pick him up. I think he's going to be one of those hot pitchers that are just going to continue to get hot. I mean, it's been cold out here. It hasn't been up to where we're used to in May, especially out here in California, and in Arizona. It's going to be hotter. So he's used to pitching in that hot weather out there in Arizona.
He should be used to pitching in cold weather too, because San
Francisco's not that. Yeah, it's not that hot. It's usually in the 60s, 70s, and in a good
Sometimes
day you have like
lower
80s.
because they're right by the bay, and that wind chill, even if the thermometer says 55 degrees, it feels colder. It feels about 10 degrees colder.
Oh yeah. I don't like the San Francisco weather. It's kind of like gloomy, and
yeah, I don't like it.
I'm guessing that's why he left. He's like, I don't want to be out here anymore. But I guess see, the thing with him, I thought he was going to be a Giant forever. I thought he was going to be one of those players that stick around, and
they didn't want to give him the money though.
Yeah, I think they what is it called? They broke up and they had a bad breakup, and the Giants, said, "Oh, we don't like him," and now now Bumgarner's like, "I don't like the Giants," and it sucks for that organization because he got him 3 World Series. I mean, he didn't get them himself, but he had a lot to do with it. He started games, close games. Yeah, exactly. And who doesn't remember but Madison Bumgarner? He was one of the top pitchers, and this guy can rake as well. So the only bad,
he's a good hitter.
He's a really good hitter. The only bad thing
and Greinke's a good
Greinke get hit too. He just went to the American League. The only downside for Bumgarner for me was that the first year with the Diamondbacks, he really sucked, and it just continued until now. He's just starting to show a little bit of signs that maybe this is the old Bumgarner coming back.
The first year he was with the Diamondbacks, wasn't that when he had his accident?
I think he had it with the Giants, and that was the last year he had the accident. So it was at the beginning of the season, and then the whole season he didn't pitch all that well. I guess he had an ache or whatever it was, but he just continued going. And then the following year when he signed with the Diamondbacks, I believe it was that as well. So he just never stretched out, like you said. He's probably stretching out now, and he's getting comfortable.
He's pretty good now.
Yeah, he's looking pretty good now. So I mean, like I said, I'm gonna repeat it again.
He's never really been like that. The top guy, he's never been a Garrett Cole or a DeGrom or even like a Kershaw,
like a top number 1 draft pick on fantasy. You mean?
Yeah, exactly. He's never even. I don't think he's ever been a first round pick either.
No,
no. He's elite, but what really makes him kind of set apart from everyone else is how he pitches in the playoffs.
Yeah,
because this guy can really turn it up in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So if the Diamondbacks actually had a decent team and they made it to the playoffs, that's the type of guy that can really lead them
pitch lights out.
Yeah. To win a few games at least.
Yeah.
So I would like to see Bumgarner pitch in another playoff. Yeah. You never know. The Diamondbacks, they're not the best team in the world. So maybe we could see a trade. Maybe that's what Bumgarner wants. Maybe that's why he's kind of turned it up a little bit, because he wants to be able to get on that trade block and possibly get a trade to a contender this year.
Man, but he has a huge contract, so whoever's gonna take him has to be like someone with a big pocket. It could be the Yankees.
Big pockets, and they have to be able to trust that he's going to be able to do this for a little while. Not just a rental.
Yeah. Hey, let's keep the pitching theme going, man. Corbin Burns, dude. Corbin Burns is allowed only 1 walk and 1 home run, dude. And then we said 56 Ks.
I believe it was 56 Ks. He broke the record that Kenley Jansen had before him. Kenley Jansen had the record for most strikeouts without allowing a walk. Most consecutive strikeouts without allowing a walk. And now Corbin Burns just broke that record as a starting pitcher.
As a starting pitcher. That's more difficult.
Thing to go out there as a reliever and face, 3 batters that haven't seen you in a while and get a couple strikeouts, and not issue the walk. But when you're a starting pitcher and you're going through the lineup 3 times, you're seeing the same batters 3 different times. That's a bigger feat, I think, than a reliever coming out.
Of course. Is it more difficult to be a bullpen pitcher and get that feat or reach that feat, or is it easier for a starter or harder for a starter?
Longer.
It'll take a lot longer for a bullpen.
Longer. Yeah.
Yeah, because if let's say you could pitch in consecutive days, and some days you're gonna have a sore arm, and you're not gonna say anything, you're gonna go out there and pitch, and then as a starter, you go. Sometimes you're like, I just feel a little bit of soreness, but I can get through it. I'm pretty sure by the second inning I'll be all right. And what do you think about that, though? Like, I think it's a good accomplishment about on Corbin Burns, and if he continues pitching like that, I think the Brewers have a chance to make it even to the playoffs. Like, I know we said the Brewers didn't have anything, they're older. Yelich is not all that healthy yet. You said he came back today, right?
Yeah, he comes back today.
Yeah. So it's a thing of them having that 1-2 punch. They have Burns and they have, who else is it?
Brandon Woodruff.
And that 1-2 punch. That's all they need. That's all they need.
Yeah, man. That's what we said about Strasburg and Scherzer. Yeah. When they won it in 2019,
and they had these the other cast, Corbin and Sanchez.
See, and that's what I'm saying, man. All you need is that 1-2 punch, and then one extra solid pitcher to go along with them. Yeah, the Scherzer and Strasburg, those guys are elite. They are like miles. Who was the other guy they had?
The Brewers?
On the Braves. No, the Nationals when they won the World Series.
Sanchez?
Was it?
Anibal Sanchez.
Anibal Sanchez. There you go. Yeah. So they showed up in the playoffs too, man. They were really good in the playoffs.
Yeah. And they didn't expect that. You didn't expect.
Yeah, you didn't expect that.
From that 1-2.
Corbin was elite that year also. So you kind of expected that from him, but not from Anibal Sanchez.
Nah.
Who would ever expect that guy to actually be worth a win in the World Series?
Yep. So Fernando Alizaras, I can't say that name right. If I said it wrong, my bad. What's up, Bill? So I'm guessing it's you, Will.
Fernando Alizaras.
All right, there you go.
What's up, dude? I can't believe you're actually watching the show. I haven't seen this guy for a long time, man.
Hey, man, ask him a question, an embarrassing question.
An embarrassing question?
Just playing. Hey, but seriously, though, I think that 1-2 punch, though, I think for the Brewers is looking pretty good. And they're not in the tough Central, so they're not.
I think that if Keston Hiura, if he can get back from AAA, make them big leagues again, and just hit like
what
they
a
were
big upset though.
Hit.
That's a big disappointment.
It's huge, man.
Oh my God.
Huge because he was supposed to be like the next big thing.
Right.
And then they were talking about moving him to first base. He got first base eligibility. So for fantasy owners, it was like awesome. I can draft this guy. I can put him at first or second base. It was kind of like how we are with Muncy, right? Yeah. But he just didn't pan out, man. He was under the Mendoza line. They sent him to the alternate site to work out on some things, and I think that we'll see him again before the end of the year. But I mean, they
not the September call-ups though, right?
Probably before that.
Okay.
But they also got Travis Shaw that we haven't seen be good in a really long time, and he's kind of turning it up a little bit. Like you said, Yelich came back today. Lorenzo Cain, he's been kind of like on the IL, coming back and forth a couple times, I think. But what he really stands out in his defense. He saves a lot of runs, so that's going to help out a lot also in the Brewers outfield.
It is. And you know what? Let's just keep the theme going with the first basemen. What about Luke Voight, dude?
Luke Voight, man. He came back, dude. He had his debut for the 2021 season. Went 0 for 4 his first day. And he finally got his first home run of the season. I believe it was yesterday.
So you're excited?
A monster shot.
I know you picked him up, right? You picked him up on your team.
I traded for him. I traded Michael Conforto for Luke Voight.
Hey, and Conforto hit the 10-day DL.
Yeah,
IL.
So I came up on that one a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Oh man, dude, you're lucky about that one. But Luke Voigt, it's going to take a little bit of time because I don't think he played any minor league games, right? I think he just went straight into playing.
He did one minor league game.
Yeah, see, just that one is not going to give you enough time to get ready for it. See
I
what
think that's one of the reasons why he went 0 for 4. I believe he went 0 for 4 and then 0 for 3 the next day.
Oh, all right.
But that home run that gives Yankees fans some hope right there. And then you saw Aaron Judge. I think he had a 3 home run game the other day.
Yep.
So Stanton's on the IL with the quad strain.
Man, that quad.
I know.
And he was on fire.
Aaron Hicks is on the IL. So they're still a little beat up, but I mean, dude, you still got to be weary of the Yankees.
No, of course.
All of them are healthy. They can win. They can go on a pretty big stretch and turn around and win the division.
Oh, of course, man. Of course, they're the Yankees. Who's doubting the Yankees? I don't think I am. I know we're gonna go into the questions, and you want to read off the question Javi has? I know he moved out to Pennsylvania, and we're wishing him luck.
Man.
He's been on the show.
I see his pictures of Philly cheesesteaks, and he sent a message earlier on the chat that's saying he tried the Mexican food here in Pennsylvania. He goes, not the business. I'm just like, man, I told you, Pennsylvania Mexican food is not even Mexican food, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah, man, we just want to wish you luck out there. I know you're a California guy and moving out there just like Will did. We're probably going to have you on the show soon. We'll talk to you about, maybe you guys going to the Phillies game and record some stuff and we can put it on YouTube. Yeah. So whenever the Dodgers go out there and you guys can record it, we'll pull it out there.
He's only about like 45 minutes away from me, I think.
All right.
He lives about 45 minutes away. Oh, at least for now, because he doesn't know where he's going to buy his home or rent or whatever he's going to do for now. But less than an hour away. So, we'll probably have some cookouts, some carne asadas over here. Hopefully, hopefully he makes some good carne asada, so that way I can just sit back and relax. I'll buy the beer. He can cook.
All right, so let's go, man. Let's go into the questions. Javi has one. He said, "Is Means a real deal? I'm getting asked for a trade for Bieber. I don't want to because it's Baltimore, but it seems like their offense is much better than the Indians. What are our thoughts about that?" So I like that question, to be honest, because Baltimore is not all that great. And we saw the Indians. We talked about the Indians not having any hitting, but their pitching is there. Their pitching, and I think we said it before the season started that the Indians were going to give the White Sox a run for their money because they have good pitching, and all they need is that one hitter to spark up the Indians to go in the right direction. And, what are your thoughts, though? Do you trade Means for like a Bieber or someone in the Indians organization?
He has Bieber already, right? They're offering him Means for Bieber, I'm assuming that it's a 3-player deal. It's probably Means and another player for Bieber. And honestly, in my opinion, man, when you're dealing with elite guys like Bieber or Cole or DeGrom, or on the hitter side, if you're looking at Trout or Acuna or Betts, you don't do 2-for-1 trades on those guys. If you want Shane Bieber, then you got to give up Acuna for him, or maybe not Acuna, because I think Acuna is a little too.
I don't think I'll trade Acuna for Bieber though.
That's right, exactly, and that's what I'm saying. It's too much, but my point is my thing. One is a lot better. A 2-for-1 trade. A 2-for-1 trade doesn't really make sense when you're dealing with this kind of eliteness from a player. That elite player is going to get you much better production than these other 2 players that you're getting for. Like someone offered me Robbie Ray and
Robbie
Ray and Paul Goldschmidt for Corbin Burns.
Oh,
come on, man.
Robbie Ray's not even the guy that was with the Diamondbacks anymore. He's over there pitching in the East. So look, this is where I'm getting to how I think when I look at that trade. You're looking at Bieber. He's in the Central. We just talked about the Twins, that the Twins are not playing well at all. Kansas City's dropping. They're not in first place anymore. Doesn't look like they're going to continue that way. Maybe they are, but it looks like they're on downfall. So the White Sox are the only elite team, and the Indians have proven to actually beat the White Sox. So
because of their pitching.
because of their pitching, exactly. And then you have, who's the other team on the Central? Am I forgetting one?
Detroit.
Detroit's
Looking
really,
actually pretty decent for the last week or so.
but how long is that going to last? They have a bunch of rookies.
Exactly.
So it's like you have a better shot at having Beaver than Means. Means is pitching in the AL East, dude. All those teams were 500 at one point, and this is after the start of the season, because everybody can say, "Oh, they're all 500 at the beginning of the season," right? But you have the Blue Jays that they can rake. You have the Yankees that they're not healthy yet, but once they are, they're going to become one of those, force to be reckoned with. And then you have the Red Sox. The Red Sox have the best. I think they have the best. Oh no, they don't have the best record. The White Sox do have. The White Sox have the best record, but you have the Red Sox in first place in the East, and then you have the Tampa Bay
They
Rays.
don't even have Chris Sale back yet.
Not yet.
Chris Sale is going to come back towards the end of the season. I believe that they projected that he's going to make about 10 starts. So he'll be back for like the last 2 months of the season.
So you got to kind of weigh in the division, man. Which one's a tougher division for you, the East or the Central? To me, is the East, and it's always been the East. So you got to kind of weigh that in. Now you're saying that as Madrigal for the second player that you're going to trade. Whew.
That's not enough.
It's not enough because it could be Madrigal. What is he, a rookie or a second year? I believe. So it's not. He doesn't have enough for me to be like. And I'm kind of following what you said, Will, in the other videos where he doesn't have enough for that player to be like, oh, I want him on my team.
You know what though? Let me reiterate something real quick. In a points league, I think that the 2-for-1 deal, it doesn't make any sense. In a categories league, it may make sense because if you do get a guy like, I wouldn't even go for Madrigal. Maybe if it was Moncada. If you get like Moncada from the White Sox, third baseman, he has elite power, and if that's what you're looking for in a categories league, if you're losing in home runs every week and you can get a guy like that's going to get you 25 home runs for the rest of the season, and you also get, a decent starting pitcher out of it, like a John Means, then maybe that makes a little bit more sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think that consistency in a points league is really what you need, though. You need those guys that, every single week, they're just going to come out and they're going to get you 20, 25, maybe even more points than that. Yeah. And John Means isn't that guy yet. He could possibly be, because his fastball command and his spots, like he's really good at pinpointing his pitches, and he has a really good stuff. But Bieber is just, it's too far apart.
Well, let's talk about the high point guys, man. Well, hopefully that we answer your question, Javi, and maybe we didn't give a clear answer, but we're giving you our thoughts, and you got to think about you as an owner. You got to think about what is it that you're going to do, what is it you need for your team. Me, for instance, I would love to have, what is it, Beaver? Beaver's the one that he's trying to get, right, or they're trying to propose to him, or what's it means?
They want Bieber, and he would.
They're going to give him Means and okay, gotcha.
And Madrigal, yeah.
No, I think I'll keep Bieber.
So you give up the third best pitcher in the league for a guy that you don't even know how he's going to pitch the rest of the season, because he's been garbage before, and all of a sudden he's good.
He throws a no-hitter.
Madrigal, who was a first-round pick, I believe, but he doesn't play like he's a first-round pick.
Yeah, he doesn't. Well, let's move on to the high points, dude. I know Josh Fuentes was one of the high points that, I know he wasn't the top high points guy, but he was one of the guys that got
I think he was third.
He was batters. Third. Yeah, and he was available.
That came out of nowhere, man.
Exactly. So we know he can play third base. He had the hot corner after Arenado left, and he also has eligibility for first base on Yahoo and ESPN.
Yeah.
He had 46 points, and he's available in the league. So I don't think it's a bad pick for anybody because he's
Oh,
still
I don't
playing
think
in
so at
Coors.
all. Especially if your league has a corner infield spot.
Yeah, like a
Because
first baseman, third baseman type thing.
yeah, that's not the type of guy that you want to have as your starting first
No,
baseman
no,
or
no,
third
no.
baseman because he's a gamble. You don't know how he's going to turn out. Maybe the only reason why he didn't come up in the league earlier is because Arenado was holding down that spot at third base, and
Yeah,
then Arenado's gone, and then now he took that spot.
yeah,
So I I saw that you picked him up
I did.
in our league.
I did.
So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna pick him up too. So I picked him up in one of my other leagues.
I did pick him up because I did see some impressive at bats, and I didn't. It's not just about seeing how many points he's raking. If you're looking at his at bats and you're looking at how he's hitting and how solid he's hitting, that's what you want to look for in a hitter. I know you don't have that. Sometimes you don't have the time to look into those things, but sometimes go into their profile and see how they did the week before and see how they're, how their stats are going up little by little. The
Yeah.
last 7 games, he got 46 points, like I said. Right now, you know how I said it was at 10%. Now it went on Yahoo 22%, and on ESPN, it's still a little bit down, 12%. So if he's out there for you guys and you guys need a spot to fill, this guy's eligible for first and third base, which is not a bad way to go.
I definitely like him better in points leagues than I do in categories
And
leagues.
yeah, because he does have a lot. What is it, 9Ks, I believe, in that stretch?
Well, that a lot of times in categories leagues, strikeouts don't count against you. It's very
Right,
rare.
yeah.
But he bats in the bottom half of the order, so his counting stats just aren't there as much. Plus, he's in a weak lineup. He'll probably score 3 to 4 runs a week with maybe 5 or 6 RBI every week. So that's going to help a little bit. But in a points league, that's really going to help you a lot. Today he's already 2 for 3, and it's only the 6th inning.
Yeah.
So he still has 3 more innings to go. He could get another couple hits by then.
And can rack up those points. And
exactly,
he had 1 point yesterday. He faced a really tough Jude Darvish because I was keeping a close eye on him too. And that's the thing when you pick.
I was debating on if I wanted to pick him up yesterday or not.
I was the same way. Because it's Jude Darvish. Jude Darvish has been pitching really good. So
yeah, exactly.
but I saw like, okay, he's going to be in Colorado. Why not? So I went ahead and picked him up because I felt like, okay, we put it out there on Instagram, and most of the guys that are playing with us follow us on Instagram, and they're going to be like, okay, well then I should just pick him up. Right. So we kind of do that before we pick up the player, or sometimes we pick up the player and we put the Instagram message out. But whatever it is, I kind of felt like, okay, I trust this guy right now. I'm just going to go for it. And you did too, Will. So I think it's paying off. I know it's only Tuesday, and hopefully that those points that were from last week, it carries on to this week, to week 7, and it gets us good points. I mean, you didn't have to lose anything for this guy, and he's still available in a lot of people's leagues. So that's another good thing. For pitching, do you remember who the pitcher was that had good points? Oh, you were going to say something. Go ahead, man.
Sorry. So just kind of going back to Josh Fuentes, when you kind of correlate categories leagues to points leagues.
Yeah.
So far he's 2 for 3 with a double and a triple. So in a categories league, a double and a triple doesn't mean anything. It has the same value as a single does. So if they count hits, then it's just a hit. If they count
extra base
average, there's not really extra base.
Oh, okay.
Unless it's like unless they have just a bunch of categories to pick. But usually it's like hits, runs, home runs, RBI, stolen bases, and batting average. Or sometimes they'll switch it out for on base percentage instead.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it'll help your batting average and your on base percentage a little bit, because you got to figure it's accumulative for all your players, not just the one guy. And you'll get 2 hits out of it. But he didn't score any runs or any RBI today so far. So I'm sorry, he got 1 RBI. So
One
you would have
RBI?
gotten 1 RBI from that. But, going from that, you get the 2 hits, the RBI, a little bit of batting average. So it helps you out just a little bit in the categories league. But then in the points league, he already has 8 points.
Yeah.
And anything over 5 points, you got to be happy with that.
Yep. I agree with that, man. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. And if we talk about it next week, then maybe he could be one of your picks. And if it's not one of your picks, it's because he probably just, he didn't live up to what he did on week 6.
Well,
Let's go.
If he can do this against San Diego, in San Diego right now, he has a weekend series in Colorado. So if he stays hot, man, this is the guy. If he's available, pick him up at least for the weekend. If I have a Eugenio Suarez that's struggling a little bit, so I picked him up so that way I can put him in my third base spot, and I'm sitting Eugenio Suarez. It sucks to do that because Suarez is usually the guy that you want 40 home runs from with over 100 RBI, but he's just not hitting well right now. So I'm going with the hot bat. Sometimes you got to do that, even if it's a guy that's kind of an unknown like Fuentes.
Yep. Yeah. Hey, dude, I don't mean to interrupt you, but there's a no-hitter watch. I feel like every time we're on live, there's a no-hitter watch, man. And this guy
now.
Yeah, it's from the Tigers, Spencer Turnbull.
Really?
So 7 innings. Yeah. He's in the 7th inning, 6 Ks, one walk at 84 pitches.
Wow.
So yeah. We'll see what happens with him. And
he was on the COVID list.
He was, right?
He opened up the season on COVID.
On the COVID, yeah.
Yeah, he was out for like about a month and a half, actually.
Yeah, he was. He was out for a while. But no, he was out for a week or 2, I believe, because he did test positive. I think it was at beginning of the season.
Well, because he wasn't even a part of spring training. So he was out before even spring training started.
Yeah, and then he didn't come back like till the 2nd or 3rd week.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. Do you know who the high point pitcher was? And that way we can go ahead and give it out. And if you find it, we'll give it out right now. I know it doesn't sound like we're prepared at all, but it sucks. It's not that we're not prepared. It's just we were expecting to have a little bit of slides and stuff like that, but that thing didn't work. But yeah, Fuentes, he wasn't the highest one. He was the 3rd highest. And we're just talking about eligibility because I know Aaron Judge was one of those top players that had a lot of points, and forget who the other one was, but those players are already picked up in a lot of leagues. We're trying to give you the players that are not picked up, which Fuentes was one of them.
So Freddie Peralta. Yeah, he had 2 starts last week and got him 58 points.
Wow.
Yeah, that's huge.
That is good. Whoever picked him up for a 2-starter wasn't a bad pickup.
Well, he's definitely rostered in too many leagues. He's 92% owned.
Okay.
But if he's out there, man, he should be 100 because he's a SPARP. He has the SP and RP eligibility. That's the guy that you want to put in your RP spot in any points league.
Rather we were than just talking about Burns and how they had the 1-2 punch. This could be the 3rd pitcher, Peralta. For the Brewers. Sure. But see, he's only he's still young. He was his 1st, 2nd year.
No, I believe it's his 3rd.
It's his 3rd year. But hold on, let me check it.
He pitched 20. Well, because he was a reliever before.
Okay.
He was always a reliever.
So yeah, he started the games this year though. He became a starter this year. And because he became a starter this year, I'm pretty sure they're not letting him loose to go over those 6 innings. He's probably pitching at that 6 inning mark. And as the year goes on, his arm is going to get a little bit tired. He's not used to it. So that's what I'm saying. When he's younger, when they're younger, maybe they'll prove me wrong. Hopefully he does prove me wrong. But usually when a pitcher comes into the major leagues and they're starting the bullpen, they start 5 innings and then they start releasing them 6 innings and then they can let them go. They let them go to where he can pitch whatever's he can throw. So, I mean, Freddie Peralta, he's at 92 on Yahoo. On ESPN, he's 97%. So good luck on ESPN, but Yahoo, there's still a slight chance he's still out there for those leagues and those owners that are still looking for a pitcher. He was a high point pitcher, which was a 2-start pitcher. and it's not a bad pickup.
Yeah.
Do you know who has him on our team, on our league?
Javi does.
Oh, lucky.
Yeah, but I have him in Javi's league.
Yeah. You have him on Javi's league?
I
Hey,
have
so
him in Javi's league.
okay. So hey, Tony Snap's not with us. I forgot to mention. It's only me, Willpower. So Tony,
Yeah,
he's
instead
on the
he's
chat.
messaging us on YouTube.
He said that we didn't cover Mike Trout. He's gonna be out, what is it, 6 to 8 weeks?
6 to 8 weeks, man.
That's a long time. Who are you gonna replace him
You
with?
know what he said? He said that he was running down the line and it felt like someone had thrown 100-mile-an-hour fastball at the back of his leg.
Oh,
That's what his leg felt like.
are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see the interview or anything, or I didn't see him talk about it, but oh man. That's a huge loss, though. It's a huge loss. Who do you replace him with? Is there a trade you want to make for him? I don't think you should trade Trout, though. But
no, hell no.
Is there someone out there that you can pick up?
Yeah.
Like to replace?
Actually, I just picked up an outfielder in one of my leagues.
Uh-oh. How many leagues do you play? 4?
4. It's so hard to keep up with them, man.
Oh man, yeah, dude.
And
And then I just want to read off for you guys that are not looking at the chat. Tony say he's not sold on Means. One of the things that Javi asked, and he's just confirming with us too. Tony, do you have anything to say, man? I'm hearing you. And we're here live on YouTube live, and yeah, we're hitting the last of the show. So
all right, so there's actually 2 guys that are available in a lot of leagues. The first one that I'm going to give, he's available in he's rostered in 53% of Yahoo leagues, and that's Robbie Grossman from Detroit, who we were talking about Detroit just a little while ago. Really what kind of holds Detroit back is their pitching. They have Matthew Boyd and they have Casey Mize, who actually hasn't been, living up to the hype. He was a first round pick. And actually, I wanted to talk about Casey Mize because he had an amazing start yesterday, and I called that shit. Remember I told you?
Yeah,
Casey
you did.
Mize,
But we pulled the trigger too late on that one. I honestly didn't see. I did see, but I was just like, okay, I did see what you guys were talking about, but I didn't really pay attention fully to where I need to pay attention more, of course. I didn't pay attention to it, and then if we would have done it, we would have got that start, and then we would have been in a better position. I think you're right on that one. You're Nostradamus this week on that pick.
Just like the same with Rodon. Remember, I called that shit when
Rodon, you did
when he had the no hitter.
Yeah,
but Robbie Grossman. Let's see. Last 14 days, he's scored 69 points. He's 16 for 47 with 2 home runs. So this guy, he's rostered in 53% of leagues. In the last week, he had a jump in his rostership. It went from 34% to 53%. So it increased by 19% just in the last week. So this is the guy you want to pick up right now if you did have Mike Trout or you just need an outfielder to cover a spot. So he's not available in our league, obviously, because the guys that we have in our league, except for 2 of them, so 10 of the teams in the league, they're really on top of their teams, and all the players that are having hot streaks and cold streaks and pitchers to pick up off the waiver wire. And Robbie Grossman, that's one of them. And the next guy that you can pick up,
hold on before you continue. ESPN has him at 51%. I know you said 53 for Yahoo, so I just want to go and throw
almost
that
the same.
Almost the same thing. So if he's
so
available,
he's
I don't think
widely
it's a bad
available
pick.
in both leagues right now.
Yeah.
Especially 10-team leagues. 10-team leagues, he should be available pretty much everywhere. And then the second guy I want to talk about, who I actually talked to Tony, and I told him I want to pick him up. And he was like, "Oh, Miami sucks. And I'm like, nah, they won like 10
Duvall?
out of their last 12. That's Adam Duvall. And we picked him up for a day because we only needed him just for that Sunday in the podcast league. And I think he went like over 4 or something. So he was a bust that day. but in the last week, he's scored 53 points. Or the last 2 weeks,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 53 points.
Last
Last
2
week, he
weeks.
scored 26. So, and that's with 4 home runs in the last 2 weeks. So,
Mhm.
categories leagues, you need home runs. Duvall's always been a home run hitter ever since he was with, was it the Indians?
The
I think,
Indians.
I think it was with the Indians.
No, with the Reds.
Reds.
It was the Reds. It
Oh
was
no, it
the
was the
Reds,
Braves.
and
It was the Braves. He was
he
with the
hit a
Braves.
bunch of bombs with the Reds as well, didn't he? It was
Did
the
he?
Reds. It was the Reds, and then he went to Atlanta. But I think he had more home runs with the Reds. He had like 33 or 31 with the Reds, and then he
Yeah,
moved to
that's pretty
Atlanta, and
good.
he went down. Yeah, it's still pretty good. He had like 15, 16 home runs with the Braves, but then like his production kind of went down. So that's where Miami has him now. He's at eight home runs, which is not really bad. He's pretty good. He's producing 4 home runs a month, which is gonna get him and it's not
Eight?
really a bad pick.
No, he's
No.
not, and he's available in a lot of leagues. He's only rostered in 27% of Yahoo leagues.
And then on
I
ESPN, 21%, which
Oh,
is
there you go. So
yeah,
he's available pretty much everywhere. I mean,
yeah,
more than likely you're going to be able to pick this guy up.
yeah. And we're not saying to go ahead and pick him up instead of Trout. Trout's in the IL. So what we're saying is we're giving you options. Like you can drop this guy one day and pick up someone else, and look at players like that. If he's not working out for like 2 or 3 days, how long would you give this guy before you drop him? Like let's say you're in a points league or in a categories league, and he's not producing those 3 or 4 games. Like when do you pull the trigger to drop this this
Well,
guy?
what I usually like to look at is which pitchers did they face?
Yeah.
Because if they face some elite pitching and they went 1 for 4, 0 for 4, or something like that, okay, he struck out 3 times against Shane Bieber, or he went like 0 for 10 against Kershaw, Bueller, and Urias, something like that. Then I don't really look too much into that, because then I want to look at the next series when he faces, a team like the Padres, who really have just Darvish, and all the rest of the pitching is just either mediocre or bad. Like look at Blake Snell. That's supposed to be like he was the ace of the Rays, and look at him pitching now. He's trash in San Diego. So I'm really glad
He's not trash, but he's not living up to what San Diego thought he was going to be at. He's only pitching 5 innings, which they were expecting for him to pitch like 6, 7 innings. He's not getting there. He's getting too much of a high pitch count by the 4th inning. And look, it's coming back to where they were criticizing Nash for taking him out in the World Series, right? And now you're having
Nash.
Tingler doing the same thing. He's Cash. Tingler's doing the same thing now. He's coming out in the 5th inning, and no one's saying nothing about it because it's not the World Series.
Right.
But imagine it was the World Series and he came out. What are they going to say? Oh, why did he take him out? Like, no, you need to prove yourself in the season, and he's not doing it. And
So
maybe as the season goes on, he's going to get better, but who knows, right?
Well,
he's not living up to his potential.
In my opinion, Blake Snell has been trash this season. 4.19 ERA, a 154 WHIP, no quality starts, and 1 win.
Whew.
That's with 34 innings this season. Now, the only thing that he has been elite in is strikeouts. So his strikeouts are still there.
They're still racking up. Yeah.
He's only going 4.5 to 5 innings. He has 34 innings pitched and 49 Ks. So that's definitely more than a strikeout per inning, and that's great. But if you don't go at least 5 innings, you're not going to be eligible for the win. You don't go 6 innings, you're not going to get that quality start. So in a categories league, he has been absolute trash. I wouldn't want him. In a points league,
would you trade him high or low?
There's got to be someone in the league that really believes in him that will give you something good for him. Right now, like, he's the type of guy that you could trade, and since he's struggling, you could go out and try to get a struggling batter if you needed a batter.
Like a Lindor?
Yeah,
that would work fine.
Yeah, that would work fine.
And dude, I don't know, man. Lindor, it's kind of disappointing. We're still waiting for him to come up. I like talking about shortstops because shortstops are to me. I mean, I played shortstop growing up, and even though I love the third base position, but the shortstops to me are kind of like they're the ones that get the team together. I feel, and Lindor is a good guy,
Captain
and
of the infield.
yeah, captain of the infield. We talked about the documentary, the captain.
Yep.
And for those who don't know, the captain is look it up because I'm not going to tell you. You should know already. But yeah, dude, do you have anything else to say before we log off? I mean, I know we covered a lot of stuff. We gave a lot of good tips and we gave a lot of good news on what's going around baseball. I know we hit that hour. We usually do the 2 hours, but we're trying to cut it short so we can have more interesting things to say. Tony, I know you're watching. And I know you're on the message. Javi, you've been on the message. Thank you guys for being there. And whoever else is watching that doesn't get on the message, thank you guys for watching our show. Like, we are trying to get more subscribers, more likes. We're trying to get more information for you guys. And as it goes on, I'm pretty sure we're going to get there to where we, get to a point where we have so many subscribers, everybody's going to want to ask questions. And that's what we're hoping for, right, Will?
I've actually been getting a lot of questions on Instagram lately.
I see
which
that.
I love that, dude. I'm getting at least three questions a week that people just asking me to about what their trade or who to pick up. I was talking to one guy today. He said that he couldn't check out the show tonight because he works the swing shift, but he said that tomorrow morning he'll be able to go back and watch it. So hopefully he's watching right now, and I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, appreciate anybody that watches us and messages. Will takes care of the Instagram. Tony takes care of the Twitter. Tony, you're taking care of it. Hope you're listening. And if you're not, get on it. I take care of the TikTok. There's not really that much questions on TikTok because it's more video type thing, but I do get into it with a lot of people on there because sometimes they say some things and it's just like, come on, like we got into the Astros cheating scandal right earlier on the show. And I got into it with one of the guys because he was saying that how is it that Rob Manfred, it wasn't proven that they cheated. I'm like, what? Get out of here, dude. You don't know. Yeah, like, come on, man. It was proven. Rob Manfred gave him freaking immunity. So, those are the type of arguments you get into. And I love it. I love it. But I would like to invite everybody that's on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram to the show so they can have those questions on here. And I mean, if it gets heated, it gets heated, right? We're not going to go out there and sock you like that Padre fan because there's no way. We're on camera and you guys are wherever home or whatever is going on. So yeah, man, final thoughts, Will.
There's one guy in the league that he's drafted. He got drafted in pretty much 100% of leagues. A little bit late though, but this guy is playing like a legit first round pick. He is starting pitcher and DH and maybe even getting outfield pretty soon. And the way he's going right now, man, he's going to be a first round pick next season. Shohei Ohtani. If he doesn't get injured.
If he doesn't get injured.
Wait. I feel like after Tommy John surgery, it's really been helping him stay healthy, because that was really hindering him before. Like everyone goes on an IL stint once in a while, but his was for a year, which really sucked. He wasn't able to play in 2020 at all, but that was okay because it was such a shortened season that it actually allowed him to not really miss much, especially because the Angels didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
But next year, man,
he did hit a home run today too, though.
Oh,
so
damn,
he's leading.
Really?
What was it? 15 home runs now? 16?
He has the most points out of any player in baseball right now.
Yeah.
That's insane.
He has
dude.
pitching and he's leading the home runs. Oh man, this guy is on fire. And I don't want to curse it and I don't want to say anything. I don't want Angel fans to come after me or anything. Injuries is a big thing with this player. If this player doesn't get injured, Will might be right. He might be the first draft pick next year in fantasy baseball, and everybody's going to be talking about it. I do want to say though, and it's an interesting thing you brought him up. I believe there was a Texans player in football saying that people should be talking about. I think it was JJ Watt, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, talking about O'Shea
Hmm.
Ohtani, and he's saying that how is it that people are not talking about him so much? And I
Because he's on
agree,
the
dude.
Angels.
I agree. They're not talking about him
Hey,
so much,
real
but
real quick.
yeah.
So bases were loaded, and Albert Pujols got hit by a pitch, walked in a
Oh,
run.
oh
So
well.
the Dodgers were leading 4-1, and
See,
Gavin Lux just came up with 2 outs in the bottom of the seventh and just hit a grand slam.
oh, look, they're going the right way, man.
Gavin
They're,
Lux with the grand slam,
they're
man.
winning the games they need to win.
Dude, Gavin Lux is getting hot at the perfect time, dude. At the
You
perfect
have
time.
them?
No, I don't. But just for the Dodgers in general,
Yeah.
because Corey Seager's gone. Bellinger's out right now until hopefully just by next week. Justin Turner's slumping. So it's like Muncy and
And
Lux
Lux.
are carrying the team right now. You get little base hits from other guys on the team, and then you let guys like Lux and Muncy just bring you in. Remember, Muncy was really hot in the beginning of the season.
He was, and he
Cooled off
turned
a
it down.
lot, dude. He started
And now he's
sucking,
turning.
but
Now
then
he's
now
starting
he's
though.
turning it up again, man. He's
Yeah.
hitting home runs like one every like 3 or 4 days.
Hey, so my final thought before we sign out, and this is directed to you, Will. We talked about you just mentioned him right now, Albert Pujols, and we've been texting and we were talking about it. And this is my final thought. So I said that Albert Pujols is going to be one of those players on an elite freaking lineup. Look at the stack lineup he's in now. He's getting RBIs. He's getting hit by pitch. Even if he gets hit by pitch, that's the point. RBI is the point. He got a hit last night. That's a point. And then little things like that makes a player get confidence. Did you see him on the dugout? He was having fun. Something that
Tapping his head.
exactly. I didn't get to see that with the Angels. I'm not saying the Angels didn't have that. They probably did, and he probably loved being there, and the chemistry probably was there, or probably it wasn't there, and that's why he wanted out. That's why he left, and they didn't have a good separation from the Angels. So. I said it on the text. I just want to say it here. I think is one of those players that you would like to look for. And I know he's 41 years old. He's one of those older players. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. We all know that. But Will, why don't you like this guy? Is it because he's old, or you don't think he's going to do
I
anything? I
see,
just think he's an elite hitter on an elite lineup. I
but
think
he's
his
not
batting
an
average
elite
is going to go
hitter.
up. He wasn't with the Angels because they didn't have a good lineup. But look at this stacked lineup now.
Yeah, but I
Maybe that's
mean,
what he needs.
Dodger Stadium is a pitcher's ballpark, and if he's going to be hitting in Dodger Stadium for majority of his games, he doesn't have that pop that he used to have. Once in a while he'll
But the
knock you out of the
camaraderie
park.
sometimes helps too, though.
Yeah,
Sometimes
but that doesn't get rid of your pain.
it doesn't. It
Still,
doesn't.
we were talking about him how he has the plantar fasciitis in both of his feet, and I saw him when he earlier about an hour ago when he grounded out. He looked like he's really struggling just to run to first base, man. I know what that feels because I was just upstairs watching a movie with the wife, and then I came out down here to do the podcast, and I feel it, man. It hurts to take a step. It really does.
You're like,
And
oh, it doesn't feel good.
and I can only imagine because this guy, he's a few years older than me, so it's got to be worse for him if he hasn't gotten right by now with all these amazing doctors working on him all the time. He has elite doctors with him, like that the Angels training staff has paid for. We need you to fix Pujols' foot. That's it. That's all we need
Yeah.
you to do. Like I'm sure that's what they told him, and nothing helped. And
Yeah.
now, yeah, he's on the Dodgers, and his stance is a little bit different. Maybe he could hit the ball just as hard as he used to, but it's a lot of times before, he would get like a little blooper out into right field, and he would make it to first. But now he can't run it out anymore. We see that with
So
Justin
this is
Turner
the thing
sometimes too.
Yeah, this is the thing I see from Pujols this year, and I know right now it's a different situation from when they talked about it that morning, because that afternoon that's when Seager got hit in the hand, and that's when they signed Pujols. So Pujols went into it going in as a bench player. This is game 2 for him, from when he signed. So it's a different scenario now. Now you're getting to start a little bit more. He's getting to play a little bit more. That's not the scenario the Dodgers signed him for, but he is a big presence in that lineup. He is a big presence in that dugout. I saw yesterday he went to Buehler. And for those of you that don't know baseball, when you talk to your pitcher when he's pitching, that's a no-no. You don't talk to your pitcher. You don't ever talk to your pitcher in the dugout. You leave him alone, especially if he's throwing really good. So what happened with Buehler? Buehler didn't have a good second inning. I think he had like 27 pitches that inning or something like that. And Pujols went over there and told him, "Hey, man, you're better than that." Like from what the announcers are saying, right? I don't know if that really happened, but that veteran presence needs to be there with all these young players out there. Who's a veteran presence there? Justin Turner. And Justin Turner's been there for a while. So you're looking at teammates that've seen him all his 5 years there, and they're looking at him a little bit different. So you bring in a new veteran, which is a Pujols, and he's telling you, because he's been on the outside and he's been on another team facing these guys, and you're telling these guys like, "Hey, I think you're better than this." What I'm saying about Buehler and everybody, they just have better at bats.
Gave him some confidence, and then he came back and threw out some shutout innings.
Yeah. So that's what I'm looking for Pujols. I think Pujols is a great addition. I'm not saying he's going to be a starter, and he's going to have spot starts, probably
He's a
two a week. Exactly. And I think he would be a good coach. So yeah, that was my final thought. Will, we already said our final thoughts. I know we're trying to cut the show short. And yeah, if you have any questions, go to Instagram. It didn't happen, but we didn't reach the 2 hours, so we're good. Go to TikTok, Instagram. We even have an email, realtalkbaseball@yahoo.com. Am I forgetting one, Will? Twitter account. Tony, get on that.
Wow.
And yeah.
So Turnbull still has a no through 8.
Through 8 innings. I did see that.
We might see our 5th. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. If ESPN shows a game, they don't show it anymore.
Well, Dodgers already won this game 8-1 so far. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch over to the Tigers game.
All right. Cool. All right. No more. If you don't have anything else to say, Will, you're good?
No, I'm good, man.
All right. Cool. Well, I'm Carlos Baseball. This is Will Power, Real Talk Baseball. Signing